This week I'm going to be making a window seat.
Today we're going to build a Bonkette. Let's go.
I'm using 4x2s to batten the rear section. The plywood for the seat will attach onto the top of the 4x2s and sit on the tiled section at the front. I'm drilling holes in the 4x2s. I'm making sure this is the same width as the gap in the tiles, so the screws will secure into the wall between the tiles. I'm using another piece of 4x2 to sit underneath so that it makes it level for me to drill the guide holes. I have already drilled holes through the wood. I am now drilling the guide holes by marking the wall.
Now the holes are marked, I can start drilling into the tiles.
This is where I will then drill the deeper holes into the wall. The top plywood seat, which will have the padding on, will rest on the front tiled section.
Okay, now for the raw plugs.
Make sure the raw plugs go past the tile, otherwise the tiles may crack when putting the screws in.
I'm using these hex screws, and it comes with a hex tool for your drill.
Put the screws partially through the 4x2, ready to be offered up to the raw plugs.
Make sure that they're screwed in and then slightly protruding. So ready to be offered up to the holes.
I'm having to use a torch to be able to see behind the wooden batten to see if the screws are going into the raw plugs okay. Once it is all level, start screwing the hex screws in gradually. Again, making sure it is all level throughout the process. Now for the next part, follow the same process as before. The top plywood seat, which will have the padding on, will rest on the front tiled section.
I've got a special drill for going through tiles. Okay, again, make sure that the screws are screwed in so that they're slightly protruding. So that then you can offer it up to the holes where I've just put the raw plugs in. Now for this bit. And again, when measuring it up, let's make sure we line it up with the joints here, so it's not too difficult to then drill through.
Level and mark through the wood into the tile gap where the final holes will be drilled. Again, tap the raw plugs through just past the tiles. I've done the same as the others. I made sure it's all level. Now for this end. I've cut this bit of 4x2 a little bit shorter as the plug socket is in the way. The padding on the seat should partially cover the plug. Tap the raw plugs just past the tile so the tile doesn't crack. Put the hex screws in already, just made sure that they're slightly protruding. Line it up with the raw plugs. Again, make sure it is all level. Now for the middle section. This is to support the seat where the two pieces of plywood will meet. I think I need to get a skip for all this earth. I hope nothing starts growing. I've put a support on the front section already to make it stronger. I've got the timber merchant to partially cut the plywood, so all I need to do is just cut the front and the right section. Let's test it out. Let's see how well supported it is. I've cut a section in the plywood for the plug socket. I've cut the angle in at the end now. I just need to trim the front bit so it's flush with the tiles at the front. I've taken the plywood home to upholster this. I ordered the foam pretty much to the correct size. This is the Calico, which is the material that goes underneath the final material. It's fire resistant. I'm laying the Calico out first. The foam then goes on next, and then the board goes on the top. So it's basically upside down. Cut it to size. It's still a bit creased, so I'm going to iron it further. Okay, I've turned it over and I'm going to iron it. Okay, I've got a hammer, staple gun and some tacks. Start on the corners and pull it tight. Tack it in place. The magnetic hammer is pretty good. You only need one hand to bang the tack in. And then do an envelope fold on the corners and staple in place. Then just repeat the process for each corner, making sure you pull it nice and tight. Let's check it's all okay. Yeah, it looks fine. Now for the final corner. Pull the material nice and tight and then staple in place. Now you can staple all round, pulling it firmly as you go. That looks fine. Just the final side. Then cut the excess off. Now for the next part.
Got the foam underneath here and I need to cut it, and apparently the best way to cut it is with a serrated knife. So let's line it up. It gives a bit as well, which is good, so when we put the upholstery on the top it will give. So let's go for it, make sure it's okay all lined up.
This is the only part of the foam I need to cut. It's just like cutting a cake. Then repeat the process the same as you did for the first part.
Okay, I've lined it all up. I've made sure that the under bit is there's enough overlap, and then I'm just going to glue it.
Again, staple the corners. This end bit is a little bit tricky. Then trim off all the excess material. That's that bit done. I've trimmed the material to size.
Okay, make sure it's all lined up so that when you fold it over, it's going to cover the underlay bit. That looks fine. I'm going to make sure I start in the middle to make sure the middle bit's tight in. I'm just going to secure it. You could tack it. I'm just going to secure it with a staple.
Start with the corners, making sure that the material overlaps the calico which is underneath. Make sure this section is stapled really straight and then trim it. I'm using a hammer just to make sure that the staples are down firmly. Now for the second part. The cardboard tube from the material makes a didgeridoo noise. Trim the material to the exact size. Again, I've started with the corners, making sure that the stapling is nice and straight. Those corners don't look too bad. That's that done. Now to put it in place. They just slot in place.
I've screwed just a bit of batten just so it secures it firmly behind the tiles at the front.
Well, that's another job done.